Introducing Uncle Raymond, who is a Gadigal elder. He's the director of the Metropolitan Local Aboriginal Lands Council and a recently retired Aboriginal health worker from the Aboriginal Medical Services in Redfern, to come and open up this conference and summit for us, and to thank you very much for coming along and participating today. Can you please join me now in welcoming Uncle Ray? Yeah, go.
It's old bones.
Old bones.
Morning, everyone. As was said, my name's Uncle Ray Davision. I'm here today on behalf of the Metropolitan Local Aboriginal Lands Council. Pardon me. The Lands Council and its members, being the custodians to the clan groups of the Eora Nation, give me permission today to come along and welcome you all to country. Each and every opportunity I get to give welcome to country, I love explain to people, and do this each and every time I give welcome to country, that I don't, and tell people I don't have a set speech or a set talk. I do what I call having a yarn. Within that yarn, I deliver the protocols of welcome to country, and each and every time I do that, I don't know what I'm going to say until I actually get up on the podium or get the mic in my hand or whatever it may be. So it's really lovely, each and every opportunity I get when giving welcome to country. Once again, I love expressing to people then that whether I do welcome to country once a year or 100 times a year, and I say this over and over and over, it doesn't matter how many times I do it. Each and every time I have opportunity to give welcome to country, I look upon it as a first, because it's really special that that for me to be standing on traditional land and have that opportunity, or be the privileged person to give welcome to country as I do. So it's really lovely. Once again, it doesn't matter how many times I do it, I look upon it as a first. And in that regard, I'm of the thought that there has to be somebody maybe hearing welcome to country for the first time, or maybe hearing me for the first time. So I like to make it special in those regards. And each and every time I give welcome to country, I can't help it. Look, what I'm about to say, I say this each and every time, and I say this with apologies to all traditional people here today and all people from country, because we all come from country. But you all know that this is the most beautiful traditional land and the most beautiful city and the most beautiful country in the world. And I've been over to our minister's country on the other side, on the North Shore, where they say the sun shines brightest. We've had these words about this over there, but you all know, no matter where we come from, we all come from beautiful country. And within our hearts, we all believe that our country is the most beautiful. So for me to come up here today and once again have this opportunity to remind us of that, it's really lovely that I get that. It's really unique that I get that opportunity. So I love explaining to people, or passing on to people, that we have one mother, and that's Mother Earth, and Mother Earth knows each and every one of us, and she loves us all equally. It doesn't matter who we are, where we come from, we're all part of the same, we're all loved the same. So regardless of whether we've been here for 10,000 years, 1 year, or a new child born today, if you're born on country, you're part of country and you belong to country. Now, I love telling people as well, especially when I have a couple of minutes, but the time frame's not too narrow, to try and give welcome to country in a proper manner, that it's not always just from a traditional perspective that I love giving welcome to country, but it's from an urban Australian, urban Aboriginal Australian perspective, of having the opportunity to give welcome to country from my traditional land. And so I love telling people, especially when I come down to a place like Cockle Bay, it's really wonderful, because no matter who we are, where we come from country, we all have our own special memories and our own connections with that country. And mine down here, I was born at La Perouse, where the Europeans first stepped on the east coast of Australia, and my clan land runs from Circular Quay to Redfern, where the Europeans first settled in Australia. So once again, my people, the Gadigal people, have had the longest continuous unbroken association with Europeans since the settlement of Australia. So it's really wonderful and unique that I get the opportunity to come down, especially down here in my heartland, and relay that to people. So coming down here, I love telling stories of my connection with my country. I'll just do it quickly, pardon me, because no matter where I go within my boundaries, my clan land boundaries, pardon me, I have that connection. Once again, it's not just from that traditional, but it's from an urban Australian perspective. Now, down here, as a young man back in the 60s and 70s driving heavy vehicles, you all know, I don't need to tell you, that this was one of the biggest railheads in Sydney. So my connection here, once again, not just from traditional, but from an urban Australian, urban Aboriginal Australian perspective, of growing up down here and coming down here and driving my truck down here in the loads when this was a really big railhead, and picking up loads every day and taking them out to various places and so forth. And also the ships here back in those days when they were still being unloaded by hand before containerisation. So once again, that connection to country is really strong, and it's strong in each and every one of us. As I said a moment ago, Welcome to country. You all know that's been around for thousands of years and its origins right here on the east coast of Australia. And we've always had welcome to country when we have big celebrations and big corroborees, and we celebrate by song and dance. And it's done today as I'm doing it orally, and it's no less significant, and holds the same importance. So this is a gathering today. This is a corroboree. Welcome to country doesn't see Aboriginal or non-Aboriginal or our ethnicity. It just sees us as Australians. So we're continuing on that tradition that's been going on for thousands of years. And if you could think for a moment, that tradition of having welcome to country over thousands of years, if we're talking about thousands of years of welcome to country, and Cockle Bay here was one of those big dancing areas. If you could think about in the concept of, for that period of time, then equate to how many actual corroborees we've had in this area over that time, or any given area that we may go to on country. And it's quite amazing. And once again, for me to have that opportunity to stand before any given group of people, it's really special and unique. So I do that every time I have the opportunity. I love relaying that to people. So just in keeping with Aboriginal custom and protocol, I'd like to pay respects to elders past and present of my people, the Gadigal people, the people of the Eora, and thank them for the caring of the waterways and the land for the thousands of years of which we all benefit from today. And in doing that, I'd like to pay respects to elders and descendants, both past and present, of every person in this room today. But without those people, none of us would be here. And when we give when we give respects to elders and past, from our past, we're of the memory that they're not just a name and a number from the past, but they're real people that had real achievements and real lives and real sorrow, the same as we're having today. So when we have that connection within our culture, we believe that at any given time there are thousands of our ancestors around us. So me being on my traditional land here today, I firmly believe that each time I come down here, it's such a wonderful feeling to come down here. And I tell people too, you may come into the city and see tar and cement, and I do too, each and every time. I'd also see and feel traditional land. So you may come from another city within Australia or a country town, and your memory when you're away from country is, you might have some, I love using this equation, you might have a little church there or a river system or mountain range that you think of country when you're away from country, or come from a big city like Sydney and your best memories are maybe your high school years and your family and your friends and stuff like that. So when you're away from country, you think of country and you think of the people that's gone before you. But just remember, each and every time you come and go from country, it's not just your direct ancestors that were there greeting you and farewelling you each and every time, but it's the people that have been on that land for thousands of years. They know you as well. They greet you and farewell you each time you come and go from country. So me being on my land here, it's I get that feeling each and every time I come down here. So just in closing, my people, the Gadigal people, are one of 29 clans that make up the Eora Nation, and our clan land boundaries are the three rivers of Sydney, which I can't help but got to say this way each and every time I say it. The wonderfully handsome Hawkesbury River to the north, with its wonderful caves and inlets, a beautiful Nepean River out to the west with its wonderful sandy shores and beautiful agricultural land. It's been a fruit bowl, this area, for thousands of years, and down to my back, the Georges River with its wonderful mangroves, animal life and bird life, and naturally out to my right, the ocean and waters beyond. Once again, within those boundaries are the 29 clans of the Eora Nation. I'm here today, or this morning, under wonderful invitation to invite each and every one of you to my country, to your country, to our country. And just in closing, I'm going to apologise because I'm going to walk out and go to St George Hospital. But I love relaying this to people that, once again, no matter how long we've been here, we all belong to country. So just remember, as you go about your daily duties today, I firmly believe that my people will be walking beside you. So to each and every one of you, may the spirits of my ancestors walk beside you and protect you whilst you're on Gadigal land, Eora country, as I know they walk beside and protect me. Thank you all very much, and I hope you have a productive day. Thank you.